your wife did just have the baby.
Yeah, we just had a baby.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
When did that happen?
The baby's a month old now.
Is that right?
Yeah, a month. And I left home, the baby was, no, wait, gosh, it's 6 weeks. I've been here a month already. Time flies when you're having fun.
Been away for a month now?
I've been away, yeah. Just about a month.
It's a rough time to be away.
It is. The baby was 2 weeks old when I left. And, but I was home for the birth of the child, and I was home 2 weeks before the baby was born, and home 2 weeks after. And it was tough to leave, but we knew this would happen. We planned it like this. So when I go back, then we start this next leg of the tour. The baby will be on the road. So he's been home getting stronger. Yeah.
Is this your first child?
In this marriage, yeah. This is my second marriage, yeah.
Uh-huh. Oh, it's great. It's great.
Yeah. I have 2 other sons. They're men now,
Is that right?
Yeah,
you
6.
mentioned 42, which is,
Yeah, I'm 43 now. I was a year ago. Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Huh. I guess the rock and roll keeps you young then, huh?
Yeah, rock and roll and clean living,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
What's clean living? What do you do?
I don't drink, keeping a strong spiritual awareness, and getting the rest.
What do you mean by spiritual awareness?
Well, I was raised a Baptist, and recently I've become involved with Sri Chinmoy, and so I meditate a lot every day, and this is a new thing for me. But I've always had a spiritual awareness in my life, basically following the golden rules,
What is basically behind the Sri Chinmoy and his following? Is he is it sort of a spiritual awareness type of thing, or is it an actual religion?
Well, it is an actual a religion, I guess you would say. He is a guru. He is a spiritual teacher, and he guides you down this path of awareness, of illumination, to find within yourself that is where it all comes from, And through meditation, you manifest this thing that's inside you, and brings it out, and it makes you a stronger person within yourself.
How did you come about that?
Well, one of my producers, Narda, who played with Mahavishnu, and so he introduced me to Sri Chinmoy, and since that time, he's producing some of my albums. We started to meditate together, and that's when I became aware, and so it's been the biggest thing in my life now.
Is that right?
Yeah.
What goes into the meditation?
Well, it's focus and concentration. Concentration, discipline of the mind. If you can control your mind, then you can control the world, because it all comes from within you. Discipline of the mind is very, 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 very hard to do. And once you can do that, once you can discipline your mind, you can discipline your whole being. And you know what's right and what's wrong. And your mind is what usually leads you astray. But once you can control that, then you can control your whole life. And
But imagine to a lot of musicians that's something very innate to your nature, because for 2 or 3 hours on stage you are basically locked mentally with the other musicians.
Yeah.
So it's already sort of part of your your spiritual fabric.
Yeah, and I'm fortunate enough to be involved with a very morally strong person. Bruce and the whole band are very, very morally strong, and is morally secure. And so it's not a matter of having to fight off some kind of other forces, So it's just a matter of locking into a groove, and we have a real good thing going on.
Where do you think that comes from? I mean, is that something you got from your parents, or is that something you accrued through experiences when growing up?
Well, I grew up in as I said, a very religious background. I come from a long line of Baptist preachers. My grandfather and my uncles and my brothers, as a matter of fact, is a Baptist preacher. And so the spirituality has always been a part of my life, And I can truthfully say I've never harmed one person in my life.
Is that right?
Yeah, I've never done one person wrong.
Never a barroom brawl or anything like
No,
that?
I've never done that. And because of my upbringing and my background. And and it's carrying on into my life now. Um, but it's a very important awakening and a very important awareness that we really need today. And being in rock and roll and dealing with youth, the world of tomorrow, I think that it's very important to be that kind of person and have that kind of consciousness, that kind of idea. And then I'm really happy that I'm with a band that doesn't advocate violence or sex or drugs. We're just having a good time and showing people that you can be straight and have fun. You can be, and we don't have to get on stage and wave a flag, about it. You can look at a person and tell where that person's at. I guess you can look at me and say, well, this guy doesn't hang out and party, he must be doing something. And so I think that's very important, that you don't have to stand up and then preach about it. You just live your life and be a beacon for other people.
Do you think that outlook, like you say, you and Bruce and the rest of the band share, as a reflection of what is happening in America, or a backlash to it?
Well, I hope it's. I don't think it's actually a backlash to what's happening, but what is happening in America? That's the question. What is happening in America today? Morally, there's a slide, but I think it's starting to slow down and it's starting to straighten up, and I hope that we are a part of it. I hope that we are some cause has some effect on the reversal of the moral slide in America. I think that people today all over the world are beginning to wake up a little bit more, because they're conscious of what's happening. That it ain't all sex, drugs, and rock and roll. You know what I mean? That there is a life that has to be. There has to be some strong hold somewhere that people can hold on to, something that you can hold on to, because when you wake up in the morning, you still got all these realities in your life to deal with, and you do need something to hold on to.
How about when you were, say, growing up, and when you were a young adult, what sort of things were prominent in your life? Do you see? Can you identify with the kids that come to your concerts? Do you see a piece of you in them?
Not really, because I'm pre-rock and roll. I go back before rock and roll was real popular, so there wasn't a big thing of going to concerts. But there were always something taking you away from what you were brought up in, what your parents had instilled in you. But like I said, I grew up in this very, very strict religious background, and we had to go to church on Sunday. And but kids today don't have to do that, because their parents don't take them. But my mother and father took us to church. They didn't and then as years went on, they didn't go themselves. They started to send their children to church. But now they don't send them to church, so it's starting to slide. But now I think that people are becoming more aware, and they're starting to take their kids, and it's great to see more young adults in the churches now.
Do you see anything as, say, an alternative to the church? Because, like I say, in my case, and I think in the case of a lot of people I know, religion has nothing to do with our lifestyles. We were brought up without church, without even our parents weren't religious, and yet, I think we believe in a lot of the same things.
All right,
that you
so
do.
this is where Sri Chamoy comes in. It's another awareness other than the church, but it takes it beyond the church building itself and beyond. To me, it has helped me to understand the teachings of Jesus Christ. Although I brought up believing in Jesus Christ, but now I understand a lot more what he was saying and what he meant, and that the church is within you, and you the one that have to live it. It has to be a living church. And this is what I'm finding, that when I say going to church, I just mean the religious consciousness.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?